This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell and Unette Gentry. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Welcome. It's Tuesday, September 22nd. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Unette Gentry. This is News 25.
Well, some tense moments this morning at the Courtyard Apartments here in Pahrump as a fire forced the evacuation of building number 6. Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue Chief Scott Lewis says it was a bit of a chaotic scene as the crews arrived on location.
Just after 11 o'clock this morning, we were dispatched a report of a structure fire at the Courtyard Apartments. As we arrived on location, we had smoke showing from a first floor apartment on the front side of the building, which we would consider Division A. As we investigated further, we could see that we had a room and contents fire. It is unknown whether it had extended to the nearby apartments. Crews commenced an offensive interior attack, which means they took the line directly into the inside, quickly controlled the fire, knocked down the main body, and then checked for extension. Obviously, there was a lot of excitement and a lot of people in the area. They were, calling out to each other, and so they all self-evacuated. The only thing we had to worry about was we had to clear them out from the front of the building as crews were arriving to make sure nobody was hit. A number of them had dogs that were, kind of aggressive, so we had to have them just move them out of the area and make sure there was a safe way. There was no extension beyond the apartment of origin. Even in that apartment, the fire was held to the room of origin. It never got into any of the other rooms other than some smoke. They also conducted primary and secondary searches of the building to make sure that nobody else was either trapped within the building or in the unit of origin. They found no one trapped. All occupants had been evacuated prior to fire department arrival, including a suspect who is thought to have run away at the early onset of the fire. So we had additional deputies arrive on scene. The individual was located in an unconscious state in a nearby dirt area, which is also used as a parking. So crews provided immediate EMS care and transported the patient to the local hospital.
Is it believed that it was a medical issue or what?
Yeah, the first assessment would reveal that it wasn't fire related. It was probably an underlying medical issue, possibly related to substance abuse, and that was all part of the investigation that would be conducted by the physician. That same patient is thought to be the suspect in this fire. It is suspect in nature, and we are under investigation between Pahrump Fire Rescue, the Deputy State Fire Marshal, and the Nye County Sheriff's Office.
In more local news, Mickey Cagle, Danny Hicks, and Vicky Bockley made their first court appearance Monday for arraignment. Each appeared from the Nye County Detention Center via television to be arraigned on a myriad of heinous charges, ranging from incest to lewdness with a child under 14, bestiality, possession of child pornography, child abuse, and more. 24 charges total.
Cagle, Hicks, and Bockley were arrested along with Eric Garcia after an investigation into allegations made by a DCFS social worker who was alerted to the crime by the children's medical doctor. Bockley is reportedly the mother of one of the children and grandmother of two of the children allegedly abused. Bockley is also facing additional charges of child trafficking and 2 counts of solicitation of murder. Cagle, Hicks, and Bockley each pled not guilty in court yesterday and waived their right to a speedy trial. The judge and attorneys in the case will now decide if the 3 of them will be tried together or if the cases will be severed. The trial is expected to take place after the first of the year and should take about 2 weeks. Eric Garcia was also arrested with Cagle, Hicks, and Bockley, and he is expected to plead guilty to lewdness with a child under 14 and unlawful use of a minor under 14 in production of pornography or as a subject of sexual portrayal and performance. Garcia will be sentenced October 5th.
And stay tuned. If you need some extra cash or work during this pandemic, we'll tell you which convenience store is hiring 20,000 people. That and more when News 25 returns.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on. Optum Care Network of Nevada, offering Medicare Advantage members more than 3,000 primary and specialty care providers throughout the state.
Welcome back. Well, Tesla CEO Elon Musk promises exciting things for Battery Day. 7-Eleven prepares to hire another 20,000 workers, and household wealth is up nearly 7%.
Tapping our news, the hype surrounding Tesla's big Battery Day event is in overdrive. Tesla CEO Elon Musk tweets to expect many exciting things that will be unveiled at that event. Reporters suspect that the Tesla founder will reveal a new way to manufacture a massive supply of battery cells. 7-Eleven is not done hiring. The convenience store chain plans to recruit 20,000 workers on top of the 50,000 it's already added since March. Checking the economy, the S&P 500 up 20% for the quarter is boosting household wealth 6.8% to $5.7 trillion. The federal government's debt, however, jumped 58.9%. The government is quickly falling deeper into debt after Congress passed the CARES Act, giving Americans assistance during the COVID crisis. U.S. debt is now among the highest in the world at $26.7 trillion.
Thanks so much, Angela. Now, children who would have received free or reduced-priced meals through the National School Lunch Program are receiving a one-time refund for the cost of school lunches that were missed when schools were closed earlier this year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. That money is coming from the Pandemic Electronic Benefits Transfer Program, more commonly referred to as PEBT. Julie Balderson, who works with the State Division of Welfare and Supportive Services, explains how it all works.
It's a new program that gives food benefits to children who lost access to their free or reduced price school meals because of the COVID-19 school closures back in March, April, and May of 2020. So these cards are basically replacing anyone's meals for both breakfast and lunch for the number of school days that were where the school was closed during the spring. And so we've calculated that number. It's $5.70 per day per child. And so we went back and looked at the days in March, April, and May where kids should have been in school, but were not because of the pandemic. And so for all of those days, the total, it's 20 days in April, 20 days in May, 12 days in March. Grand total you're looking at is about $296.40, so just under $300 per child to replace the meals that they would have received for free or for a reduced cost had they been able to go to school. It was automatic, so you didn't do an application. We don't need anything from you. This is coming in the mail to you to replace those meals that were lost while schools were closed. If the household is currently receiving SNAP or TANF benefits, the PEBT benefit will actually automatically be deposited on that existing EBT card. They don't have to do anything else. There won't be anything in the mail. But there are a lot of households that are not currently receiving SNAP. And for those, a PEBT card will come in the mail. It probably already came already. And that is going to work the same way as a regular SNAP EBT card will work. So any place where you can use SNAP, you can use this card to buy food.
The state has a dedicated hotline to answer questions about the PEBT program. That number is 702-486-9640. You can also learn more by visiting the state's welfare website at dwss.nv.gov.
And let's go to Missy Kohler with more of what's happening in the Nye County courtrooms.
Attorneys for Ashley Wynn were in court yesterday to pursue a possible change of venue or recusal of the judge for possible retrial or direct appeal. Wynn was found guilty on July 2nd, 2019 on charges of DUI causing death and DUI causing substantial bodily injury. Christine Weir was killed in the crash that occurred on September 24th of 2016 at the intersection of Dandelion and Honeysuckle Streets in Pahrump. Weir's fiance, Brian Schwanier, suffered critical injuries. Attorneys for Wynn argued yesterday that Wynn did not receive a fair trial because of publicity surrounding the case that prejudiced the jury. They also stated that Wynn had been in Judge Lane's court a few years prior to testify in an unrelated case and that the judge had personal connections with others associated with the case. Judge Lane refuted each of the points presented by the attorney, stating that he did not remember Wynn from any prior trials, nor did he have any social connections with anyone involved with the case. Attorneys for Wynn will now file a writ of habeas corpus, which would demand that a public official deliver an imprisoned individual to the court and show a valid reason for that person's detention. The hearing will allow the state and the defense to present their evidence about whether there is lawful basis for jailing the person. Wynn was sentenced to serve 16 to 40 years in jail, which is the maximum allowed by law, plus she was ordered to pay restitution of $62,340.37. The state of Nevada versus James Benetti made an appearance in district court on Friday. Benetti's last court appearance was September 9th to face charges from a September 2018 arrest. Benetti had made a plea agreement with a former Nye County Deputy District Attorney regarding his arrest with William Butler for possession of child pornography and lewdness with a minor. At a September 9th court appearance, the plea agreement was discussed with Judge Wonker, who requested more information regarding the deal because she felt the negotiated plea may be too lenient. The agreement reduced the charges from a felony crime that could carry a sentence of life in prison to a probational offense. The state appeared in court Friday with some answers to Judge Wonker's questions, stating that although they are not in agreement with the terms of the plea agreement made by former prosecutor Michael Vieta Coble, who now works for Washoe County, they are willing to keep their word on the deal that had been made by the former deputy district attorney. The decision to accept or deny the deal is within the purview of Judge Wonker, and she made the decision not to accept the plea deal that had been made. It is anticipated that that defense and the district attorney's office will look to renegotiate a possible plea agreement. I'm Missy Kohler, and that's your court report.
Thanks, Missy. Well, it's officially fall, so we're telling you how to avoid any upsets this cold, flu, and COVID season when we return.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
Well, President Donald Trump's son, Eric Trump, will be here in Pahrump on Thursday for a Make America Great event here at the Pahrump Valley Winery. That's at 6 p.m. this Thursday. If you would like to get tickets to that event, you can go to KPVM's Facebook page and click on the links. You can also go to events@donaldtrump.com. They are, of course, letting a certain amount of the general public into this event, and they're going to also air it as well.
In other news, elderberry is becoming a popular natural remedy during cold and flu season. But does it work? One recent study examines whether elderberry extract decreases the severity and duration of the flu. Dr. Michael Macklin from Cleveland Clinic Children's led the research.
It actually didn't make any difference at all compared to placebo when you took all the patients who took elderberry and all the patients who took the placebo medication. Their illnesses lasted almost the identical length of time.
The study looks at 87 people ages 5 and up who went to the emergency department with flu. They took elderberry extract or placebo for 5 days. Some also took other prescription flu treatments. Results suggest elderberry had no significant advantages over placebo. People who received elderberry and no other flu treatment actually had moderate to severe symptoms 2 days longer on average than people taking only placebo. These results contradict previous studies, and Dr. Macklin says further research is needed. When it comes to the flu, prevention is key, and the best way to prevent influenza is a flu shot.
I think it's important to emphasize that right now we don't have anything to treat the flu that works wonderfully well. Even the 4 standard treatments that are available only make you feel better about 1 day sooner, and any medication also comes with some side effects. So I think it's important to try and prevent flu and get the flu vaccine.
It's recommended everyone 6 months and older get a flu shot each year. Complete results can be found in the Journal of General Internal Medicine.
Well, do you know a lady that can use some uplifting? COVID has hit her hard, and she could really use a smile put back on her face. Simply Divine Hair Salon wants to help. They're having a contest they are calling Project COVID-19. We spoke to Elizabeth and Carol about the contest and why they wanted to do it.
We've all lost our identity. We can't tell when they're smiling. We can't tell when they're sad. We can barely hear anybody. Just some normalcy in their life when they've suffered hardships. Well, we want to make over a special lady that has been nominated by friends, and we'd like you to give us a reason that she needs the makeover and what hardships she's had to endure, because we just want to make her day.
I've come across a lot of women. It makes them feel good nominate that special someone to get a mani-pedi.
And she will receive whatever hair services she wants. Even if, it's big color job, whatever, I'll do whatever they want.
Well, here is where you come in. They're looking for some nominations for Project COVID-19. You can email us and tell us about the lady you know that would love a makeover. Tell us why you think she could really use some uplifting and how the pandemic has affected her. You can send your nominations to me, Deanna, at KPVM25.tv. That's DEANNA at KPVM25.tv. And be sure to have your nomination in by October. And we're going to tell you about Save a Pet right now.
All right, it's time for another trip to Desert Haven Animal Society, and we're meeting an energetic poodle mix who's looking for his forever home. It could be yours.
Today's Save a Pet is proudly sponsored by Jason Ernest with Mountain West Lawyers. Call 775-727-9500.
Today we meet Hansel, a 3-year-old poodle mix with white curly hair who was found as a stray. This sweet little boy is very energetic and loves to play. He has not been neutered. If you'd like to meet Hansel or any of his other friends at Desert Haven Animal Society, you can stop by to spend time with him in the yard. They're located on Seary Lane, right behind the Nye County Courthouse. They just ask that you call first at 775-751-7020. You can also see other pets available at the shelter by visiting them on Facebook at Desert Haven Animal Society. And if you're looking to adopt a pet, this weekend is the perfect time to do so for free. Maddie's Pet Adoption Days is this weekend, September 25th through the 27th, and thanks to funding provided by the Dave and Cheryl Duffield Foundation, all adoption fees are waived during this event.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Hi, it's John Kohler from KPVM Channel 25 Weather, and we are on location at the Calvada Eye. It's a beautiful, not summer day, now it's a fall day. Look at this. Look at this fall colors. There's one, yellow, and there's some green and some brown. There you go, fall colors at the Calvada Eye. It's actually officially fall. It's the autumnal equinox, and that's the day that happens twice a year, 9/21 and 3/21, when the dark and the light are basically equal. So we got about 12 and 12 right now, and it's a special day to mark with a special location. This is a great place to come take a picnic. You should do this. Lots of people come here. There's a lady over there with a Yorkie, and I saw some guy having his lunch over here in a bag. So anyway, we'll be back with the weather report right after this.
News 25 Weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the Channel 25 Weather Studios, just back from Alaska. Feeling good. Look at this. It's a Jerry Garcia tie. Jerry, the late guitar player from the Grateful Dead. So tonight, it's going to be far out in Fallon. 88 degrees was your high tonight. 48 will be your low this evening in Fallon. Freaky. 87 degrees was your high today. 46 for a low. Carson City, the man is keeping everybody down with a temperature of 85 degrees. 44 for your low tonight. Out in Tonopah, looking like 83 degrees. 45 for a low. Goldfield, groovy. 84 degrees for a high today. 44 for a low. Out in Beatty, well, it's like Beatty. 92 degrees. What are you going to do? 57 degrees for a low tonight. And in Amargosa, sneaking up on the triple digits, but not quite there. 97 degrees for a high today, 61 for a low. Fear and loathing in Las Vegas because the temperature hit 100 and stayed there all day long. Hot and sweaty out there, too. 71 degrees is your low tonight. That'll feel nice. Out in Death Valley, all the way down to 107. Well, you're kind of creeping down. It's almost getting reasonable. 74 for your low tonight. Let's take a look at the temperatures here locally in Pahrump. 94 degrees is our high today, and that's where we're sitting right this second. Winds out of the south-southwest, bringing in all kinds of smoke at 12 miles an hour. Humidity, it's dry, 11%. And the sunrise this morning at 6:32 a.m. Sunset tonight, 6:40. So we roughly have reached parity. And you know what that is? It's the autumnal equinox. Summer's officially over. We got 12 and 12. So here you are today, and then it'll just get darker for a while. Till about December 21st. That's the winter solstice. Low tonight, 64 degrees. Winds out of the east, bringing in some smoke, not so many fires to the east. So we've got 6-mile-an-hour winds Humidity picking up to about 20% as we go on to this evening. Let's check out the extended weather forecast. Looking like throughout the week, we'll have temperatures peaking up in the high 90s and lows in the mid 60s. Looking for some southwesterly winds. We're getting some Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then Saturday, Sunday, oh no, winds from the west, so more smoke. Maybe make some weekend plans with that in mind. And that's your weather report. Back to you, Annette and Deanna.
Still like those temperatures a little bit, but I hate when it gets dark so early at the end of the year.
We have to. It's fall. It's usually beautiful throughout the rest of the country, and we still have kind of warm weather. It's beautiful.
That 4 o'clock getting dark thing drives me crazy.
But it's not. Sleep.
Thanks so much, John. Well, that's going to wrap up this edition of News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell.
And I'm Unette Gentry. Happy first day of autumn.